Hello, happy Tuesday. I am Intellects, and in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, today being Mental Health Day, I figured we would kind of surprise you all with a live so that we can talk about mental health because it's very important, right? So, if you just want to share your experience with mental health, if you want to share a piece on mental health, we're going to be on here just for a little bit, just to kind of bust it up. It's been a little minute since we did a mental health open mic. So for me, I'll share a little bit about my story. Personally, I've dealt with mental health since I was a teenager. I was not diagnosed with anything until I was in my 20s with anxiety. And so I know the whole routine with going in and out of hospitals, getting medications and things of that nature. Now, I'm no longer taking medication. I have found a holistic way to deal with mental health because we all deal with anxiety, we all deal with stress, we all deal with life, right? Life be lifing, right? So the way that I've been able to overcome that is by incorporating prayer, meditation, studying, being productive, and actually getting out of my head. Being a thinker, I'm in my head a lot. And so in order for me to get out of my head and actually do my purpose work, that's what brings me closer to myself. The further away I get from myself, the more of those symptoms or signs that I get. So as long as I'm staying on that path and being open to really dealing with my own issues, and that takes work, right? It's not just I'm going to do this for a week and that's it. It's a daily process, so if we are not consistent with taking charge of our mental health, it will take charge of us. And so for me, writing, creating, like I said, meditation, working out is definitely a great mental health boost. Okay. All of these things will help you with your mental health. And so because we deal with it every single day, and of course this month is dedicated to mental health, but it's important to check in on people that might seem like they're okay. The strong ones, they need to be checked up on too, right? The ones that's always doing something, or the ones that seem happy all the time. You hear a lot of different stories about how people are just doing great, or you think they're doing great, and then next thing you know, they've passed away for different reasons, right? And it's linked back to their mental health. So make sure you check on these people that's in your life that you say you care about, that you say you love, because they may be going through an inside battle that you know nothing about. All right, so we're gonna bring on Marianne to grace us. Hi, Marianne.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing a lot better than I was over a week ago.
Oh, what happened a week ago?
Basically, everyone in the house got influenza A.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, which is basically the swine flu.
Wow. Oh, is everybody better now?
Yeah, but my husband did have problems last night in the way of getting up and down constantly,
Mm-hmm.
having the runs, and he upchucked a couple times. But he went to work anyways today.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's a little better than being bedbound. That's good that y'all are all recovering.
Yeah.
Wow. So, since today is Mental Health Day, do you have anything that you want to share about if you've ever battled with anything in mental health, or if you have any pieces on that?
Yeah, I do have a few pieces on those. I have to get my first book out. I have different mental health issues. So I write about anxiety, depression.
Nice.
I just need to find the right one in here. Let's see. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, this one's called I Want to Live. It's from my very first book, Life's Ups and Downs, a poem book. Gray clouds are forming. I feel myself spiraling down into a black hole. I don't know why I'm feeling this way again. I thought I'd beat depression, but I'm feeling low once again. I'm not sure if it's getting worse for good, or if it's just another minor setback like I had in the past. Hope it's just a setback that will go away in time. I want to live emotionally fit. I don't want to go for counseling again. I want to live happily. I don't want to be afraid of anything bad happening again. Why is this happening? I'm starting to feel scared when I don't want to be. Please let this feeling go away. I want to live normally.
Wow. Yeah. That's that's real. Feeling
Yeah,
that way. Feeling like, you know, what's wrong with me? Can I be normal? You
yeah,
know what I mean?
uh-huh,
Like, what is the definition of normal?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, what about, and you say you deal with anxiety, depression.
Yep.
What are ways that you cope with them?
Basically, my writings, when I write stuff down, it helps.
Mm,
When I talk to others, it helps. Like, when I talk to others, that to feel they're alone when they're not in life, I talk to them, and it makes them, us both feel better.
okay, that's good. Did you say you had a few pieces? You want to share another piece?
Yeah, I can. Let me try to find my Anxiety's Wings one. I don't know if it's in this book or not. Nope, not in this one. So it's probably memories or something.
And while you're pulling that up, I'm gonna bring Radiant Poem up as
Okay.
well. Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I hope you are.
Yes, all is well. We are waiting for Marianne to find her piece.
Yep. Gotta be in this one. Nope, that's about depression. It's not the one I want to read.
You write a lot of books.
I
Yeah, I
know,
wrote
right?
10 of them now.
10 books. I'm on 6. I can't talk.
Dang,
Yeah.
I've only written 2, so
That's good. Hey, listen, we all um,
on the
published
journey.
authors over
Yes.
here. Multi books. So while she looks for that,
Yeah.
Radiance. That's Radiance.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
Found
had
it.
any? You say you found it?
Yeah, I found
Okay.
the one about anxiety that I wrote.
Okay. All
This
right.
was called Anxiety's Wings. I wrote January, March, May, June 16, 2013 at 1:35 in the morning. Writing Anxiety's Wings. Anxious about many things. Anxious about the past. Anxious about the present. Anxious about the future. Not knowing what will happen is bugging me. Trying to forget is hard for me. Trying to remember the positive isn't effective enough. Anxiety is part of me. Anxiety isn't the whole me. I'll always worry about things. It's part of being human. Trust issues will not end completely. Too much has happened to me and to the ones I love. All I can do is take the bull by its horn, so to speak, and do the best I can. All I can do is hold on even when my patience has been worn thin many times over. I'm more of a fighter. I'm not one to retreat. I need to let myself be me. The wings of anxiety can't free me or keep me trapped. I'd rather be free.
Mm. So you're an overthinker like me too, huh?
Yeah.
So what do you do to get out of your head?
Sometimes listening to music will help.
Mm, that's good. Music is definitely therapy for me too.
Yeah.
So I get that. And if you're something that I do when I'm deep in thought,
Mm-hmm.
I'll speak, and me speaking gets rid of those thoughts.
Yeah.
So maybe sometimes we might have to be like, get out your head.
Yeah.
Gotta speak to ourselves.
Literally.
Yes, thank you. So with the radiance, Miss Radiant, have you battled with any mental health, and what do you do to cope?
Absolutely. Capital A. um, Anxiety, depression, and schizoaffective disorder um, take up a lot of time in my life. But what I do to kind of battle those things is just being intentional about my time as much as I can be. Because I find when I'm idle, that's when my thoughts kind of take a dive for the worst. When I'm sitting there doing too much of nothing or laying around or not being social. So, of course, sometimes we all need that time to ourselves, but it's a real slippery slope. And okay, I'm going to take today to myself, and then today becomes 2, 3, 4, etc. days. Um, Music helps, being active, therapy, it's a big one, and writing and art.
Yes.
I'm willing to try anything.
Yes. So I was sharing earlier because I was diagnosed in my 20s with anxiety and then bipolar. And so for me, what has helped me, because I don't take medication. Like there was a point in time where I was in and out of different hospitals and taking medication here and there. And then like within the past, I would say 5 years, it was more so, you have to take medication every day. I'm a little rebellious with that. So I'm like, I'm not really that type of person. I'm not going to be taking medication. It's not. I don't want to be dependent on something because most medications, you build up an immunity to them after you take them over a certain period of time. And then you have to get a higher dosage. And I'm not, no. And so something that has helped me, prayer, meditation, definitely therapy, working out, listening to music, and actually getting out of my head. So a lot of times I notice the signs of when I feel like there's going to be like, okay, I feel like I'm getting overly anxious, or I feel like I might have like a setback. But then because I know my signs, I can fight it. And so me being able to fight it, where it's just like, no, how am I feeling in this moment? Am I stressed right now at this exact moment? No, I'm worrying about too much of what I need to do. I'm worrying about what this has to get done, that has to get done. I need to get this. And I'm thinking about everything all at once, and that becomes overwhelming. So for me, taking a step back, writing it out, seeing it plainly, like, okay, what can I get done this month? What can I get done this week? What can I get done today? So that I'm not like overwhelmed. And I know someone said before that when you think too much into the past, that's grief or depression. And when you think too much in the future, that's anxiety. And so learning to be present in the moment is something that has helped me practicing mindfulness, doing affirmations. And I noticed like if I focus too much on how something should have went or trying to uh, reprogram what happened in my mind or replay it a different way, that actually causes more frustration, more anxiety, and instead of expressing myself, I shut down. And so, learning to have proper expression, learning to, like you said, create and write, all of that is helpful. And when I'm not doing those things that I love, I actually revert back to having those symptoms of anxiety and bipolar. So, getting away from my purpose actually makes those symptoms come about more. So, yeah, so those
And
things,
relatable content.
yes. Yeah, so, me not doing what I love is something that will trigger being anxious or being, and I can tell now because I'm more in tune with me, and I know like what is good for me and what's not. And so staying focused on the positive, because, like going through transitions that are unexpected can be difficult for me. Losing loved ones can be difficult for me. So learning how to think about the good times instead of, oh, I didn't get a chance to do this, I didn't get it,
Right.
and going through that downward spiral, because then it's going to spiral. And so
Things you
learning
can't
how to, like,
control.
yes, to really just embrace those emotions in that moment instead of letting it bottle up, because that was something I used to do in my past too, was just let it bottle up, and it was just like yeah, no, we're not doing that. Because it's not healthy, because then everything comes out all at once. And,
Exactly.
you might blow up on somebody that didn't do nothing to you, but just like, you
The
said
most
the wrong
unserious
thing.
moment. The most
And now you
unserious
getting
moment.
wrecked. Yes.
I was
So,
diagnosed as a teenager, so that was interesting
mm,
because like a lot of the symptoms had showed up since like childhood, but they were attributed to other things in childhood, like my
right.
imagination or you know, um, just being not getting my way or things like that. But there was actually a bigger problem there. So I was diagnosed, I think, at 15 or 16, 15.
Mm,
So it was a definite journey in finding outlets and things that worked for me and sticking to those things even on the days I don't feel like it.
right.
Because I know once I do it, I'll feel better. But it's just
Hmm.
that act of like getting up and doing it, especially when it comes to something like depression,
Right.
um, can make you not even want to get out of bed. And so it's like talking myself into, all right, one step at a time, we're going to get out of bed, brush our teeth, take a shower, see how we
Right.
feel from there. Just like step by step instead of, like you were mentioning, sometimes you feel like you have a whole
Everything.
list of things to do.
Yes.
That'll make you roll right over on the day.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. Now, did you have a piece on mental health?
Um, I can give you the one.
And for those that just tuned in, welcome. In honor of Mental Health Day, we are having this open mic. And of course, mental health is not something that's just for a day, it's a daily process. So if there's anyone that wants to share their experience personally or with someone that they know, and if you have any pieces, you can request to join. We'll be on here for maybe another 20 minutes.
I got one. Ready? When I say I just don't feel like myself, I mean my depression is settling in like an unwanted house guest making themselves comfortable at your dinner table set for four. They pull a chair and stretch your meal thin, feasting upon your flesh with no remorse. This cannibal no one can see, but everyone in the room watches as you disappear. My body is hungry for something more than the pills. She is sturdy and forgiving, never forgets a meal because I threaten to starve it if she ever shows signs of forgetting my mistakes. She keeps me alive, and for this I am grateful. But when I say it just hurts, I mean it actually physically hurts, like carrying 50 pounds of dead weight using only your lungs. I inhale exhaustion into this baggage of bones that escapes the closet every morning, won't unhand your morning, no matter how much you ache for joy, no marrow left to right the emptiness of unexplained hollowness. Every rise of your chest is accomplishment, releasing the carbon dioxide from your body, these small victories of nature. Your brain is sick, but this disease has not conquered you. When I say I just want the pain to stop, I mean what I say and I say what I mean. I have a thirst for living the voices just can't shake. How beautiful be the flower in bloom, how it releases wilted energy and learns to live again. Sunlight in her veins warms the flesh of the phoenix, warming winds bending trees, branches dancing under pink skies. She is the conductor of clouds, moving them forward with pointed petals, a stem of a spine straightening, learning to grow and love upright. So stop sending the therapist in. The dead is not a danger to themselves or others, and I promise to return next week and outstretch my hand for safety when I am sinking. I promise to not hurt myself, but my dinner guest sometimes throws knives and my flesh is the perfect target. But when I say things, I'm just trying to keep the conversation going, to show myself I am more than illness. I shuffle food around my plate, hoping I don't look appetizing to the wolf sitting across from me. Today, I'd like to be a ghost, long enough to remember what it's like to eat alone again.
Yes. Listen, that's how it, listen, the struggle is real, okay? And that was deep. That was deep. Yes. I was just reading Miss Allen's post. She says she suffers with depression and anxiety to where it had caused her to have seizures and no one to talk to. Well, you know, there is a whole community out here that you can talk to. Um, and if you are someone who likes creating and artistry, music, um, all the things that come with um, really doing the daily choice, the daily work of helping yourself. Um, yes, definitely speak with, I mean, any one of us because we all deal with it. But there's definitely a community. And thank you for sharing and being open with sharing. And that's for all of you too, because all of you have shared a little piece about what your experiences have been. And just to kind of go back to what you were saying earlier, you said you were diagnosed as a teenager. I was in and out as a teenager, but they never diagnosed me until I was in my 20s. So I've dealt with like, oh, we don't know what's going on. Let's experiment and do these different things. And I'm like, okay. And it definitely, when you're going through the process of of puberty and really learning yourself, and then you're going through this, you know, mental health situation where it's just like, okay, oh, it could be schizophrenia or bipolar or anxiety or mania or this or that, and they're trying to figure it out, and then you have to deal with the experimentation because you know doctors don't know everything. It's called what is it? The testing and all of those things. You know, like the reason why I wear glasses today is because of me going to different hospitals and getting blood drawn every day. And like after leaving, my eyesight got messed up. So there are, you know, different things that do happen. But
And it's already hard enough to get a proper diagnosis with symptoms
Exactly.
overlapping from so many different conditions. And
Right. And
then
for
you,
the
like you're saying, to
DSM,
age. Yes.
exactly. And they update the diagnostic book pretty much every year. So there's always stuff that's being added to it. And like you said, a lot of things overlap. Yeah. So does anyone want to give Miss Allen some advice on how she can deal with what she's going through?
Um, I've actually had the same thing happen a few times. So I'm really glad that she shared that, because I would not have
Mm,
put that piece of information out there. Just, stigma, letting it get to me sometimes.
right.
But what I have found that can help sometimes is, if you can, it's not always possible, if you can just take a step back from the situation or whatever the thought is, and try to breathe and literally talk to yourself, like, and say it out loud. I like to verbalize it instead of just staying in my head, asking myself, what am I anxious about? Is there anything I can do to fix the situation, change the situation? And then I kind of move from there. Again, just like step by step, talking myself through it, telling myself it's going to be okay. No matter what the result is, it's going to come and it's going to go. Time won't stop in that moment. And
Mm,
I just try to, really, for me, I know it just sounds so cliche. People don't like deep breathing a lot, but it helps me to kind of
it
ground
does.
myself and say, I'm here, I'm present in my body. All of these bad things I'm thinking are not happening to me. I'm right
Mm,
here and it's okay.
yes, I know. Um, that's a great way. It's like self-guided de-escalation. Yes, I love that. And sometimes we create realities up in here and we run
Mm-hmm.
with it like, oh, this really happened. This really is about to happen. And it's like, no, you done made all that up.
Yep.
So sometimes we have to get out of our own heads because I've been guilty of that too. Like thinking something really happened and it was not the case, or assuming this was the reality and finding out more information. It's like, no, you just ran with an idea in your mind and then made a whole story about it, whole movie.
Right. Characters and all. Um,
Yeah.
but when it comes to the seizures part of it, I really find that balancing that with doing something physical has helped over the years. Um, Sometimes you can't outthink that before, it's too late. So I try to focus on like my physical body and ground myself. That might be a moment of prayer. That might be, if I have time, sitting and meditating with whatever music calms me. Um, Walking, literally, I'll literally walk away from a situation. If it's gonna take me out of my health, I'm walking
Yeah.
away. All of those things, just trying to pick and choose what you need in that moment, and being graceful with yourself for the times that you can't stop something from escalating to that point.
Mm-hmm.
You're not always going to be able to think yourself or talk yourself out of, in that example, a seizure or a bad day or a depressive episode. Sometimes you just have to go through it and be graceful with yourself.
Right. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, the refrigerator. I was trying to give me some water.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Great topic.
Yes, it's Mental Health Day, and this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. So just bringing awareness to what people like us go through every single day. And it's a daily process. And you know how when you learn a language, it's like if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't do a daily work
That's true.
of actually being intentional about getting your health together, then you're going to be in the same situation over and over again. because nothing changes if nothing changes. So, Miss Nicole, have you had any experiences with mental health personally or with someone that you know? And what
Yeah,
have you done to help you?
I wanted to share a piece of that was really the first book that I really started working on, but it wasn't the first book published because I was it kind of hits home, and you know, it has some dark moments, some bright moments, medium moments. It just has a lot of ups and downs in it. And I wanted to share this piece, and I hardly ever share this piece. I only think I one time, but I did do a recording of it. Uh, it's called Uncontrollable Saline because I was just crying, you know. And sometimes, you can't help but cry in situations like that. And if you don't, you're hurting yourself more than if you actually just went on and let it out. So I wanted to share two pieces, if you didn't mind, because one of them I wrote recently about suicide prevention. This one is called Uncontrollable Saline. Saline solution rolling from my eyes with every thought of you, not wanting to believe that it is true, that there will be no me and you. H2O and NaCl combined in a homogeneous mixture. Release from my eyes combat the combustion of my heart from repeatedly over time causing our DNA to mix. I wish that I could end this reaction or yield better products, or change the reagents, then do more experiments, as my heart feels like the fires of hell. Bowels of uncontrollable saline, not as sweet as what's released from yours, gently intervenes. And I wanted to share. And that's called Uncontrollable Saline. It's from all about slime. It was a journey that I had to write, for therapeutic reasons, and I really wasn't going to share it with people, but I was with this woman's prayer group, and they said that I needed to share that with other women that was going through situations like that. Cause at the time that I was writing it, I didn't really know everything that was going on behind the scenes of my life or why I got into the situation that I was in. I was a mistress for 10 years. And it was hard to get out of that situation because that person was my best friend, my everything, my only loving friend, my advisor, my tax preparer, my budgeter. He was everything. He was my everything, my protector. He was my only good memory from college. He was my everything. So it was hard. It was really hard, So uh, I really didn't never want to share that. And I think that person read it because some of the stuff that I had shared in the book, I never really shared it with the person, the guy, or anybody else because, like I said, I just didn't want to, because of my upbringing or whatever, I was quiet and not heard, and he was like one of the first people that ever really wanted to hear things that I had to say, so I didn't want to mess it up by saying, okay, this person is good to me, even though he do some bad stuff to get on my nerves. My family do too, but he do less than my family do, so I ain't gonna say nothing. Just be happy with what I got, cause I didn't have it. I didn't have it anywhere on their campus or anywhere else. You know, so come to find out when I left him and have been gone for 5 years. Um, There was some things that was downloaded in my spirit that I didn't know he was doing. I didn't know his first wife or second wife was doing, and it kind of made me upset. Not with them, but him. Some of the stuff that he did. Even though he begged me to come back home, I didn't go because I was upset. I was betrayed because I kept everything that happened between me and him secret and sacred until I wrote that first book. And I knew my family wasn't gonna read it because they don't give a damn about what I do. So they didn't read it. And then now all of a sudden that my books, I got 15 of them. Now my family reading all this stuff or other people telling them about what's in it. And they like, why you tell us this? Because you don't listen to nothing I got to say no way. So I want to read the next one. And then it's just a long situation, drawed out situation. I really haven't gotten a title to this one. I wrote it maybe for the last day of suicide prevention. But I'm going to be transparent. I've had thoughts that were rampant about destructive behaviors of others toward me and pain I did hide. And for so many times, all alone and in shame of dastardly deeds with someone who I didn't share a last name and I carried in his and my seed shortly. And prior to that, I could have died in my own hands. No one was there for me but God. I felt helpless, hopeless, of love or anything not worth it. Just hopeless because my bully had everything that I ever wanted in life, and I never understood what was wrong with me. Here it is. There's someone who hates and hated the very essence of me. Someone who really never got proper acknowledgement from anybody, including family. And the guy who wouldn't leave me alone to this day. He never knew that I attempted suicide many times or how much I cried and just didn't feel comfortable hiding all of the emotions that I did, especially after that baby died. I took on my bullies and others' misery in my own with massive multiplicity. I thank God that there was and is no end to me. I will tell you this as advice. Don't be afraid to seek help, even if you're not heard. I reached out to many, but no one cared around me. But God, that's a miracle within itself. God heard and spoke a word in my spirit to say, Nikki, don't do it. Now I know why, although I was devastated that I love this guy and hid it, lost our kid, found out that my bully tried to kill me repeatedly. He married the bully to take from her to give to me, and God made it all a story for his glory. I know times get rough. You are tough. You can get through these hard times. I used to hate to sing this song at church called I Don't Know Why I Have to Cry Sometimes. I don't know why, Lord. I have to sigh sometimes when I know there's gonna be a perfect day. With trouble, get out of my way. I don't know why, but I'll find out by and by. Trouble is in our way. We have to cry sometimes. But this is part of our life story for God to get the glory. Suicide is not a profitable option for you or the global society. You are fearfully and wonderfully made for a reason. Let's end with multiplicity, the suicide season.
Yes, y'all give it up for Miss Nicole. That was decent. And thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that. You know, there's strength in vulnerability. So we appreciate you for putting that out there because it could help someone else. And you never know who might be going through the same thing. We just experienced that with the radiant poet and Miss Allen earlier. So, yes, putting it out there will definitely help you as well as someone else. So, thank you for sharing that.
I really appreciate it.
Yes, no problem. So, we are actually going to wrap it up. Do y'all have any last minute words, things that might help someone else that's on here or that might see this later?
Don't be afraid to seek help, and even when you don't get the help that you feel like you deserve, seek God or whoever your higher power is because you do have a purpose on this earth.
Yes, man. Radiant poet.
I would say just never stop trying. The journey can be rough, and finding things that work for you to help keep your mental health afloat. But just don't give up, especially when it comes to things like therapy. The first one doesn't click, find you another one. That one doesn't click, keep trying. There's somebody out there that will connect with you if that's your chosen path. Um, don't give up on yourself. You're wanted and loved and needed in this world, even if no one tells you.
Yeah, absolutely. Marianne, you want to add anything?
Basically, never give up. And then when if you feel like you're going to want to self-harm yourself, seek help right away, because there's help out there that is better than self-harm.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all for joining.
Okay.
I appreciate you all. Um, I'm going to put their information in the comment section when this live is posted so you all can follow and support. You can also drop down that arrow if you're on Instagram and click follow, since they are up at the top speakers, so you can follow them and support them, what they got going on as well. But just remember, you are not alone. There is community. Somebody, like you said, somebody needs you here. Somebody needs to hear your story. So don't be afraid to tell it, because you never know how many lives you might change and how many lives you might save just by being you and by sharing your story. Right? We all have our own testimonies and we walk them every single day. So people are looking and watching whether you realize it or not. And again, so I'm Intellect's founder and CEO of Intellect's Artrepreneur Agency, D&D for Artists. We connect you with so much, from resources to experts to networks and platforms, to promote you so that you can be the best you that you could be in your unique artistry. We do have our own app now, so everything that all the communication, all the updates, you can subscribe to our email list. It's free 99. You can become a member, but all of that is through the app. I will put that information in the comment once this is posted as well. But I appreciate you all for joining. Remember to take care of yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup, so make sure to pour into you first before you give it out to somebody else. And when you give it, make sure it's from the overflow of what you have. Take that time daily to pray, meditate, work out, write, and create, and do your purpose work, because the further away you get from what you're supposed to do, you're going to feel all of the things that don't serve you. So stay away from those things and those people. Remember to love yourself. Remember you're not by yourself, and that speak to someone when you are in need. But thank you so much. Enjoy this mental health day and this mental health awareness month. And until next time, have a great day and an awesome and amazing rest of your week. See y'all later.